Hey, it's Tim, and welcome back to another episode of Income TV, where today we're going to talk about basics of being able to manage your money and having a budget. In this video, I'm going to share with you some tips on how to save money by having a budget. Setting money aside each month is crucial to your financial freedom, but the main issue is that most individuals don't even have a budget for their funds and lack proper money management. In real life circumstances, most of these people are living from hand to mouth as their expenses take a significant portion of their salaries. As soon as they earn their income, they spend a more substantial chunk of it on payment of debts. When an individual is living on each paycheck and not having sufficient cash to save, the person is stuck in the rat race. If you don't know, the rat race is a cycle where anyone stuck there cannot move forward or backward. Anyone locked in the rat race does not have enough cash to save and invest in a venture that will yield passive income and build a sustainable business empire. It is critical to have an understanding of your present financial state before spending your hard-earned money, as well as understanding the importance of having a budget. A budget is a stringent financial plan that stipulates your income and expenses. It is a detailed procedure where you decide not to spend more than a fixed amount of cash. It is your responsibility to determine a realistic amount of money you want to save on a consistent basis. It does take sacrifice to create a budget and stick to it. Personally, though, I'm not a fan of giving up pleasure to sacrifice for the future, as I want to live in the moment. I discovered, though, that spending all I earn without saving will bring disaster in the future, as I will have financial challenges when I have a family of my own. It is crucial to think about your future and make concerted efforts to make it a bright one. If you want to have an enjoyable life in the future, you have to deny yourself of pleasure, or some of it at least, for the moment and make a sacrifice. This brings us to the topic of budgeting, and I want to share a couple valuable tips to create a budget. Okay, budgeting. You got to decide how much is your budget going to be, and then you're not going to exceed what that is. And so what I recommend that you do before that is make a list of all your existing current expenses, okay? Then you're going to go through your credit cards, your debit cards, your online banking, your statements. Go through your receipts, whatever you got to go through, and go through every single transaction that you have and add it all up. The first place to start is you got to know exactly where you're at. You have to know exactly where your monthly expenses are and how much it is that you're spending on a month-to-month basis. I do recommend that you go back several months. You got to see where the pattern is. It's even better if you categorize it into different categories. A great way of doing this is you can use software. Microsoft Excel, you can use a Google spreadsheet, you can use numbers if you're on a Mac. Actually set up a spreadsheet or track it, whatever way that you want, and add it up. Get out your calculator and add up exactly how much you spend on a month-to-month basis on your rent or on your mortgage, okay? Whatever the number is, write it down, put it under a column or a category, and that's exactly what your mortgage is. Another category is going to be putting in exactly what you spend every single month on your cell phone bill. Put exactly what that is. Again, go back several months, know what it is. It might be that some months you might have spent more than what your bill traditionally is. You've got to know exactly what that is. You want to look at your internet bill, your gym membership. You're going to look at how much money you're spending on a monthly basis to buy groceries, eating out, entertainment, just going to the movies or playing video games or whatever that is. Again, these are all different categories. You need to look through all your transactions, your statements, and add exactly what that is to know exactly where you're at. Your car payments, gas, your bus pass, transportation, taking a taxi or an Uber, whatever it is, break it up into categories. Maybe another category could be investing in yourself, like books and courses and whatever. Know exactly what you're investing every month there. It could be a coach, it could be a mentor, it could be your school and, tuition payments or your student loan. Whatever it is, you have to have a spreadsheet or something that's tracking everything. That way you can add everything up. You know exactly what you spent every single month for the last several months. And when you look at this number, it's going to be an eye-opener for you. You're actually going to realize the reality of how you're living. What you also got to do is you have to add up and track exactly how much you're making every month as well. I'm talking about exactly what you make from your job, maybe from your business, maybe from some other income streams that you might have such as investments, I don't know. Include things that you might be doing on the side. You have to make sure you track all that as well, and you have to know exactly what this is. Basically, by doing this exercise, you're going to have a list. You're going to know exactly what your expenses are, and you're also going to know exactly what your income is. You always have to make sure that your income is higher than what your expenses are. Then you have what is called a positive cash flow. Positive cash flow is very important. That's what's going to allow you to save money every month. That's also what's going to allow you to invest, to build a business, to do whatever it is that you want to do, and have those savings for whatever it is that you want to invest in. Now, if you find yourself your expenses are too high, then you need to set up the budget. You need to decide again, how much do I want to save every month? Is it $100 a month? Is it $1,000 a month? And then look at ways that you can cut down and lower your expenses. That's creating a budget. You might decide, okay, my budget is that I'm not going to spend more than $200 a month eating out. You go to enforce that. That's what the budget is. I'm not going to spend more than, $200 a month on clothing. That's the budget. I'm not going to spend more than, X amount of money on transportation or on alcohol or whatever it might be that you're spending money on. Some cases you might decide, you know what, I got to cut it out. I have to find a cheaper cell phone plan. I need to sell my cell phone and get a cheaper phone. I need to get rid of my car and get a bus pass instead. Again, these are sacrifices you might have to make so that you can save money and set yourself up for the future. Set that budget, and then the other key piece is you have to make sure that you're tracking this on a weekly basis, especially to start. Okay, on a weekly basis, which means that every single week you're going to want to go through your credit card statement, your bank statements, everything, and add everything up and put them in the categories that you've set up in your spreadsheet. I recommend doing this weekly because it'll be faster if you do it weekly. If you leave it to every month, there'll be a lot more transactions. You're going to procrastinate and you might not do it. Weekly helps you understand where you are with your budget and will help you realize, hey, you know what? I spent a little too much this last week. I'm coming up close to my budget, so I need to cut back a little bit. Do it every week. Very important. And then the other piece is I highly recommend that you use a credit card or a debit card for all your transactions, because if you're spending cash on things, it's very hard for you to track that. Whereas if you're buying everything on your credit card, then you're going to be able to see everything. You're going to be able to see where your money's going and be able to go through all those transactions. Using a credit card is beneficial because it's helping you build up your credit score, which is very important, especially at a young age, to build your credit. If you have a problem with overspending with credit cards, then I would recommend setting a limit on the credit card. You can call your credit card company and say, I want to have a limit of $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever the limit is, to ensure that you don't overspend that. If you're doing that every week, you're tracking things, you're going through your statements, you know exactly where you're at, you have that awareness, and you're ensuring that you have a positive cash flow. And then that's going to give you the ability to save money. You're going to have a better sense of control and confidence over your life of managing your money. It's very important that you do this as early as possible, because if you can't manage what you currently have, then there's no point to going out there and trying to make more money. Because if you can't manage $2,000 a month, if you make $10,000 or more, if you make $1 million a year, you're going to be in trouble if you don't know how to manage that. Then you're going to get into serious financial trouble. That's why it's better to learn how to manage what you already have. Master managing what you already have, and then as things grow, you'll have that foundation, those money management skills that will help you to succeed at a later point in your life as well. Alright, so that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, be sure to click the circular image in the upper right-hand corner of the screen and tick the bell icon to get notified whenever we release more new videos to help you increase your income. Go ahead and check out some additional money-making videos right now on the left side of the screen. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.